importance of soil test should never be overlooked. I think you've already understood that. I mean, but that's the number one thing people will pass on. They're like, I don't need that. They'll grab some seed in a 50-pound sack of triple 13 and away they go. Soil test, very, very important. Soil pH, greatest influence on nutrient availability. If you're only going to do one thing, fertilize or lime, I'm going to lime in this part of the world. So if you put out triple 13, you realize what you're putting out? You realize how much you're putting out? A lot of people don't understand.
13% of that bag is
that is correct. So, but it really isn't 13% of that bag. It's 13%, but of 100%.
Yeah.
So that's a 50-pound bag. So you're really only putting out 6.5 pounds.
Right.
So a lot of these, your P and K may come back needing 60 or 70 units. Okay. So if you put out a bag of that, you put out 6.5 units, and you needed 60.
Yeah.
So you begin to see what I'm saying.
Right.
Most people will not put out enough fertilizer if they're putting out this bag fertilizer like this. And there's different formulations of fertilizers you can get. The P and the K and the nitrogen certainly a lot higher, like ammonium nitrate. You just buy that, it's 34%. So, you put out 200 pounds of that, and you could get 60, 70 units of nitrogen, and that would be really good for a food plot around here. That's probably about all you would need. Seed is figured, as far as recommendations on planting rates, two different ways. It's either bulk seed or it's what's called PLS seed, pure live seed. Your cereal grains are always given to you in bulk, okay? So your recommendation for like wheat and oats is 80 to 120 pounds, bulk seed. But all of your clovers, all of your native grasses, those peas, most things are in what's called PLS. Everything has a seed tag. So if you go buy some seed from the hardware store or the co-op around town, if you ask them, they will give you a seed tag because the state requires it of what's in that particular seed. Okay, and what you're going to see up there is you're going to see two things that are important: pure live seed and germination rate. Okay, so what you do is, this is pretty high, 99.5%. So you take 99.5 times 80. What is that, Dale? You got that? Let's see.
Yeah, that's about 74, 75.
99.5 times 80 is 7,960. Divide that by 100. It's going to be 79%. So in that seed right there, only 79% of it's any good. Okay? So you begin to see the problem. If you plant very many pounds, you're steadily losing grain. And so what do? A guy goes out there and he plants 5-acre food plot. He says, well, I ain't getting much up. Well, the reason may be because he didn't plant enough seed. Clover, like peas and soybeans and other things, are legumes. Okay? So what legumes have the ability to do is fixate a portion of their own nitrogen. Okay? But the bacteria that allows them to do that has to be present in the soil. And it's naturally occurring in the atmosphere, in the soil, but it's usually not enough to really benefit a lot. So what you do is you add inoculant to those plants. There's two ways of doing it. One, you can buy the inoculant in a seed, and that's a live bacteria. You don't buy a bag of this and throw it up on your truck dash and let it cook in the sun for 2 days because it'll kill it. But it's very specific based upon the type plant. So if you're going and buying crimson clover, you'd ask them, do you have any inoculant so I can inoculate this seed? Or you can do like Elsie did, and you can buy it now pre-inoculated. It's got a coating on it. Works fine either way. Only word of caution: if you're buying the inoculated, pre-inoculated kind, if you bought 50 pounds of seed, it added that inoculant weight into it. So you didn't buy 50 pounds of seed. So you got more math to do. So you need to keep that in mind. Not only do you have to deal with the pure live seed aspect of it, but you have to figure in the added weight that the inoculant made, so you really did, you may have put out half as much seed as you think you did. As a lagoon, let's see, this is our soil surface here, and let's say here's our plant, and here's our fibrous root system coming off that shallow pea or clove or whatever. What it does is it creates little nodules, and they're about the size of maybe twice the size of a pencil lead or the size of a pencil lead, and they'll start to form out on these root hairs, okay? And if you want to see if it's working, if it's fixating nitrogen, you just take one of those off, take your pocket knife and slice it. And when you slice it open, if it's fixating nitrogen, it'll have a pink tint to it.